All right, welcome to another episode of this UTI podcast that everyone thinks is something else. Um, I'm Renee, and this is,
I'm Lisa Marie. We're coming to you from Kansas. And
yes.
kind of funny thing is I washed my hair almost 2 hours ago and it's still wet. I forgot how humid it is here.
And with us today we have,
Hi, I'm Sally Wood, and I live in Los Angeles.
all right.
Yay. How's the
Very
weather
dry.
there?
I was going to say it's very dry here, except randomly it poured rain this afternoon, and I have no idea why. It's very unusual to get rain right now, but it just randomly started raining. So I feel like I'm in Kansas too, but
Okay,
not.
yeah.
Hey, come on over. You can come run a race with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know what race you picked, so we're going to gather as much information we can, and then we'll give probably an uneducated guess at
Yep.
the end.
What we
This is
do
so
know
fun.
is we sent you an assignment, and let's see what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the running time for this race.
So I had a hard time picking which race to do, and in picking this one, it will narrow it down the options a lot because
Okay.
revealing the running time will reveal a lot. So my running time was 101 hours and 50 minutes and 4 seconds.
Oh, wow. That does
Okay.
narrow it down.
That's 101 and minus is 6, so 0.8.
Nerd.
And how much travel time did you have to this race?
15 hours. So
15 hours.
Is that both
7.5.
ways? Or?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. 7.5 each way.
Okay. I have an idea already. What was the race fee?
So this is a fun one. So for me, the race fee is $0. Because I went,
wow.
I know, so it's not usually $0, obviously, but for me it was $0 because I went the year before and volunteered, which is an option for anybody, and I highly recommend doing that. But that meant I got to run the race for free, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to know what it actually costs regular people.
Nope.
Okay.
This is about your cost.
Okay, so yeah, $0. Yay.
Okay. And so what about the travel cost? Because I'm sure that wasn't free.
No, I did have gas, and I did get lodging for a little bit for my crew, not for the whole time, but for some of it, especially beginning and end. So I think that ended up being I estimated about $550 for lodging and gas both directions, and I paid for some of my crew gas too.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What about nutrition?
So nutrition, I actually ended up eating a lot of aid station food, more than I expected to. I knew kind of what to expect because I did volunteer there the year before, but I'm allergic to gluten. So I always over prepare my food just in case. And I always assume I'm not going to be able to eat anything just in case. And I put things in my drop bags like corn tortillas so that I can have them make me a quesadilla. If nothing else, I know in my drop bags I have corn tortillas. So with all that being said, I think I probably spent $250 on food. I didn't eat all of it. I came home with a lot of food because I did end up eating a lot. Their aid station food was so delicious that I ended up eating a lot of it. Okay. So I came home with a huge supply, but I did spend about $250 on food.
Okay.
Did you eat the food when you got home?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then I used it throughout training runs and stuff later on. Yeah. It got eaten.
Yeah. And what about shoes?
So shoes, I always have 2 to 4 pairs in rotation, just depending on where I'm running and what I'm doing. And my feet just change. So I'm always rotating through shoes. The only thing I bought specifically for this race was I bought a pair of shoes a size too big, which was $140. So I definitely spent $140 and I haven't worn them since. So I'm saving them for my next adventure like this. And that was just very specifically for this race. So I would say $140 on shoes.
Okay.
What kind of shoes?
My 2 top favorites are both Solomon's. I wear the Ultra Glides and the Sense Rides, and I like to switch back and forth between them. But even between those, I have like 2 pairs of sense rides that I wear right now, and they, even though they're both sense rides, they feel different because they're at different points of wear, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the lugs are slightly different, and they just feel different. And then I have, I think I'm wearing 2 different Ultra Glides right now too. And I like to mix it up. My feet
Yeah.
they like to feel different shoes. So I think for this race, I changed about every 50 miles. I changed shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally get that. It's party for your feet. It always needs to be a party for the feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Take good care of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about essentials like anti-chafing, extra shorts, or clothes you missed, or
Watches, poles.
I had a lot of stuff. Like I already had my watch. I already had poles. I
yeah,
had a hydration pack, but I did have to get a puffy jacket, which I didn't have. Some of the required gear, like pants, I didn't have. Fortunately, I knew a year in advance that I would be doing this race, so I had a whole year to collect gear, so I could take my time and wait for
yeah,
sales, which I did. And REI always has great sales.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Websites like I think it's called Backcountry or something. They have great sales. So I found like an awesome one of those like nano puff tight jackets like for
yeah,
$65, and normally they're 3 times that. So
Oh
I
yeah.
did a really good job hunting down all the gear I needed at really good prices. But even so, I had to get bikes, I had to get all kinds of things. And I would say I probably spent at least 250 on that
That's
gear,
not
even
bad.
with
okay,
my bargain hunting.
Yeah.
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 Oh, we runners, we love a good sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one, and the next one.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
all right. So was this a timed race or was it a fixed distance?
Fixed distance.
All right. We already know your finishing time. So what was your
Yeah.
goal time?
My goal time was about 100 hours.
Okay. And what was the cutoff time?
105.
Oh, okay. That was not so bad. You got
Yeah.
a decent performance score of 0.14 because you were close to your goal time. Your ambition was 0.63 because you set it fairly close to the time limit. And you did pretty well on the aggressiveness as well. So your overall return on investment on the hard numbers is 0.412, which is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. And now you're going to take all the fun
Yeah.
with the actual experience of this.
So we're gonna raise that
race.
score to get a good UTI.
That was the fun part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fun part. So let's talk about aid stations. What would you give it and why?
I definitely give the aid stations a 10. They are so great for so many reasons. The volunteers are fantastic, top-notch volunteers. Everything from the second I come in, they're, making me gluten-free pizzas or bunless burgers or whatever I need and want, and just so friendly and helpful, and getting my drop bags, and also taking care of my pacers too, seeing
Yeah.
what they need and what they want, and giving them a moment to take care of themselves while they take care of, the volunteers are taking care of me so my pacers can handle their business, so that we can get back out there. And uh, stuff like the last night, there was a cold front coming in, which we didn't know because we're out there running, so we're not looking at the weather reports. But a massive cold front came in, and it was going to get very, very cold. So they were stopping everyone at that last aid station before nightfall and doing a random gear check, required gear check, making sure everyone had their required gear, the pants, the extra layer, the jacket. And I was so glad they did that because we had our required gear. But with that warning, I actually grabbed an extra pair of pants, an extra layer. And instead of my nano jacket, I actually switched with my crew, had like a big, huge puffer jacket, like like not the kind that fits in your pack, but like a big camping one. And I actually wore that, and I was so comfortable the whole night long. It was below freezing temperatures, and I was perfectly comfortable the whole night long. And I was so grateful that they stopped us at the aid station and told us, because I would have had no idea. We're not looking at weather
Right.
reports when we're out there, so
Yeah.
I didn't know. The other nights were like not cold, so I wouldn't have expected that. And because of that, I was really comfortable. Although it was really funny because the final day, which was the next morning, it got really, really hot. And apparently, I threw a little tantrum about my jacket right before we finished because it was like so hot. And I had this humongous puffer and there was no way to stuff it in my pack or tie it anywhere. And so I was just so mad at it. It was like the one time I threw a tantrum the whole race where I was like, I hate this thing. Why do I have this thing? And I ended up just tying it around my waist. I'm wearing it in all my finish line photos. I have this stupid,
Giant
gigantic
puffer
puffer
jacket.
jacket, which was ridiculous. But I was really glad I had it that night. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
top
puffer
notch.
jackets,
Yeah.
they're a great invention, especially for the
I
runners.
mean, I was so warm.
I've got like 3 different ones. One, it's a light one, a medium one, then like you talked about, a heavy one. And yeah, when you're done with it, you're done with it. There's
Oh, yeah.
no
I
use.
hated that thing, but I loved it at night, and I was so glad that they were stopping us to let us know it was going to be cold. So
Yeah.
great volunteers, really well stocked aid stations. And like I said, with food, I was prepared to have all my own food. My crew had like one of those REI jet boil things, and I actually brought some camping food, some dehydrated meals and stuff for them to make for me just in case. But they didn't even need to make them. I actually was able
Wow.
to eat. They had like so many options for me as a, gluten-free person. I was very happy. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good when they have a great aid station. That's like,
Yeah.
I think every runner wants to have a good aid station.
Yeah. I kind of
Yeah.
always go into races assuming that the people will be great, but the food won't because
Yeah.
I have that
Yes,
food allergy.
Exactly.
So I come prepared, and then I'm often pleasantly surprised. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow, I can eat
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
That's the best way to get a positive experience, is to go in with low expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're surprised in a good way.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, what about that fun factor?
10 out
A
of
10?
10. I don't think I stopped smiling until the very last day when I had a vomit fest very briefly, which was my first time ever throwing up in a race.
Oh my goodness.
I finally got to experience the puke and rally, which when I did, I think I actually smiled at the end of it because I was like, oh my God, I finally puked and rallied. And I was so happy about that. But I kept coming into aid stations and everyone was like, Sally, you're still smiling. And I'm like, how can I not be smiling? This is the best experience I've had in my entire life. This is so amazing. Look at where we are. And I won't say where we are, but look at where we are. It's just every step I took was more beautiful than the last. And just the gratitude to be able to be there and live through that was enormous. It was immense. And I couldn't, it was like, I was euphoric the entire time. I could not stop smiling. It was amazing. It was incredible.
Did you see
I
any
loved
animals?
it. No, not that I remember.
Huh.
No. Mm-mm.
Runners must have scared them all away. Okay, so then let's talk about trail markings.
It's funny. I actually texted my pacers today about that because I was like, I don't really remember ever. I don't remember trail markings. I just remember going.
Yeah.
Maybe I just followed them. The first day, you're not allowed to have pacers, so I must have navigated myself, but I have zero memory of it. They said the trail was really well marked, and they never
Okay.
felt like they didn't know where they were going or that they were confused. They never felt that way. They felt like it
Okay.
was well marked, but I honestly have zero memory of it. I don't think I was ever worried, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
Yeah.
like living on another planet.
Well, that could be they were so well marked there was something you didn't pay attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that.
We are required to have the GPX file on a map
Yeah.
on our phone or watch too. So it's like as long as you can read a map, pretty easy to follow the map, even
Yeah.
if the trail markings aren't there. Like as long as you
Yeah.
can follow the map.
That's true.
Like on my watch, it'll go doot, doot, doot if you get off trail. And I'm just like, I'm just going TT. Come on. Like 5 foot off the trail.
I'm trying to take a nap.
Yeah. So how about the weather?
I guess I'd give it an 8, a great
an 8.
for that because I don't remember any
You
issues.
don't remember.
But yeah.
Okay. Weather.
Weather.
The weather was beautiful and gorgeous until it got freezing that last night, but then we were well prepared. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'd give the weather a solid 8. Yeah,
Okay.
it was
Okay.
great.
So was it any weather come in at all? It just was sunshiny and clear the whole time, or?
Yeah, it was sunny, clear, very pretty, like chillier at night, warmer during the day, but not it was never too warm and it was never too cold until that cold front. And even then we were fine because we were prepared. So no like, no extreme heat, no blizzards, nothing too extreme.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so the cold front just brought cold air, not really any rain or anything.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
No
Okay.
snow or rain or no moisture in the air. Just really cold. It was
Did you
windy too.
wish?
It was cold and windy.
Did you wish
What?
it would snow or rain?
No, because I'm a SoCal girl. I don't really know snow. The first day we had there's snow on the ground, but not falling snow. And that was
Okay.
my first experience running on snow, and it was not my favorite. So I don't. I'm not. I'm just totally unfamiliar with snow. So it was very slippery and weird.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Oh, I wish I could have seen that. So you had a
yeah.
Bambi moment.
Oh yeah, big time. And then I had to put the spikes on, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, that has to be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Okay, so
funny.
let's discuss those pacers. How would you rate them? And if you rate them good or bad, they are welcome to come on and have a discussion about it.
A rebuttal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rebuttal.
100% 10 out of 10. I
Okay.
had amazing pacers who were also my crew. I had 3. Two of my friends from Arizona, Lauren and Des, and then my sister came
Oh.
in and paced me too. And she's never done anything like this before. She's not an ultra runner. And I got to have several of her firsts with her. She'd never done a night run before on a trail, and she'd never done more than, I think, 13 miles. And so she went out and she did a 20-mile section with me, and
Oh.
we went into the night. And she was very brave, and it was really exciting. And it was really fun to have those moments with her and sort of introduce her to my world of crazy.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. And then Lauren and Des were absolutely amazing, incredible. We had so much fun out there. Lauren had her own. Well, we'll talk about hallucinations later. I guess I'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
We'll
you
we'll get
will.
into
Oh,
hallucinations later. Yeah, but we had a great time. Yeah, they were amazing. They kept me going, especially when I got really tired. My only real issue was that I would get really tired at night, which I guess is
mhm.
normal.
Mm.
But they would keep me excited and keep me going and keep me moving. And yeah, they were amazing. Really, really took care of me really well. There was
But
one
did
point.
they? Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
I was going to say there was one point where I came into an aid station and like for the hour leading up to that, all I could think about was sleep. So I was running with Des and Lauren was at the aid station waiting for us and she had a whole setup for me right when I got there. It was the middle of the day, but I didn't even care. She just lay me down on this sweet bed in the grass that she'd made for me and put my feet up in a chair and I just passed out instantly.
Yeah.
And apparently got my feet worked on by the medic named, oh, I can't tell you her name because it might give away the race, but a medic who everybody knows. And she worked on my feet and on my blisters, and I was completely unaware, asleep while she like sliced open my blisters and retaped them and put my shoes back on. I had no idea. I slept through it all. So they
So what
really
about
took
your
care of me.
sister? Is she hooked on ultra running
Yeah.
now?
Well, it was funny because after that, she was like, yes, she wants to do her. She was like, I want to do my first, like, we picked a 30K, like she was going to do it. And then her enthusiasm sort of petered out. We don't live in the same city, so we can't run together. Otherwise, I would be
Right.
like, you're
Okay.
coming to the mountains with me. But
Ah,
yeah, unfortunately, she lives a couple hours away from me, so I
Oh.
can't grab her and make her run with me. But I'm gonna make her do another pacing job in the
Oh
future.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll get her back.
so did anybody have to lie to you at any point to keep you going?
Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
time. So I had like a plan. I came up with a plan for sleep strategy and all that. And I told everyone, like, here's my plan. It's very detailed, but I don't want to know anything. Like, don't tell me if we derail. It's all in your hands. You guys take care of it and just like treat me like a baby and tell me what to do. I don't want to know if we're not doing the plan. Like if we deviate, I don't care. My main thing is just keep me 2 to 3 hours ahead of the cutoff at bare minimum, because I don't want to do what I call panic running. I'm
Yeah.
a like mid to back of the packer, and I hate panic running. I've done it too many times where you panic run to stay ahead of cutoff. This race is too long to panic run for that many days. I don't want to do that. So my main goal is just to stay ahead of that cutoff. So they were like, okay, we're going to focus on that. So sleep just went out the window. I got behind on the first day. We just didn't get to let me sleep. So they lied to me about how much sleep I was getting. So when I came in on the first day, my plan was to sleep for 4 hours. And I think I slept for 40 minutes, and they told me it was 2 hours. That was the first lie. And then I felt great. I was like, oh, that was 2 hours. I feel amazing. Let's go. And then subsequently, every sleep session after that, they just lied to me and told me I was getting way more sleep than I was, so that I would like psychologically feel good about it.
Yeah.
And I did. It totally worked. So total sleep in that entire time, 4 nights, was 3 hours and 40 minutes total.
Oh, wow.
And I thought I got like 10 hours. And it totally worked. I thought I got 10 hours. I was like, I feel so great. And then afterwards, they were like, little side note, you never slept longer than 40 minutes at a time. And mostly it was 6-minute trail naps that I was told were like 20-minute trail naps.
Yeah.
So yeah, they lied to me, but I was so grateful. Like it was perfect. I felt good. My body felt good, and my brain was fine. Like, and if they told me how close I was getting, I might have been stressing or worried, and I wasn't. I was just like a little toddler, ready to go.
It's a babysitting job.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So that means you're giving a crew the 10 then, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
I can't see them getting any lower than that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, but you will accept your sister coming on here if she needs to. So, did you have any blisters, chafing, things that we don't speak of, stomach issue? Well, you did. You had a stomach issue of throwing up.
Yeah. So chafing, none, which really surprised me after that many days. I thought there was going to be chafing like everywhere and in parts we don't talk about. I had nothing. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I've had like some chafing before on hundreds, but this was nothing, like nowhere. So I don't know why. I perfect weather, maybe. I don't perfect combination of things. I'm not sure, but zero chafing. So that was awesome. Blisters, I got 2 horrendous blisters that became my entire pinky toes. Like basically the entire pinky toe came off after the race on both toes.
Yes, I've experienced that.
It was from the spikes, actually, because they crushed my feet so much. I don't know if I got a size too small, but that very first day, I developed those blisters on that pinky toe, and then they just got really bad. So I lost the entire like top layer of skin on both pinky toes. But it was bad, but it wasn't like, it was the kind of pain that would, like, when I would sit and eat and, we would work on my feet, when I would first stand up, it would be really hurt. But then it would take about 10 minutes of moving, and then the pain would completely go away. Like, gone. Like, I couldn't even feel, I don't know if my feet just numbed up or what, but I would just be like, 10 minutes. I'd be looking at my watch, almost 10 minutes, and literally like 10 minutes, and it would be gone. And I would know that. So I would know, okay, I'm going to sit down at this aid station and my feet are going to really hurt when I get up, but 10 minutes later, it'll be gone. And every single time that happened. So it wasn't like they hurt while I was running. They didn't. It was just right when I would stand up again, it would hurt. And then after the race, they hurt.
Oh, yeah. So I'm sure it was all the fresh blood oozing in there, or just, you know what, you were just had a lot of grit. You just shoved it down in your heart and just said, let's pick this up later.
I don't know. Those pain receptors died.
Yeah, exactly. Did you lose your toenails when you got home?
The pinky toenails, because the whole outer layer fell off, but my big toes were fine. Everything else was fine. I did get nauseous, so I got nauseous that last day, day 5. It was because that last night, the 4th night, I had been doing really great on my hydration and nutrition. I drink Scratch, so I love Scratch. And then I also eat every 30 minutes. I set a timer, and it's worked for me all these years. I've never had an issue with any digestive stuff ever. And then I was fine the first 3 days, first 3 nights. I was feeling great. I was eating a ton, burgers and quesadillas and pizzas and all this stuff, gluten free. But like so much food, because what I witnessed the year before volunteering at this race was that like the runners who really ate well felt better. So I was like,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
gonna keep eating well. So I did, but then that last night, I think I was so tired and so out of my mind, I just couldn't tell myself to eat anymore. My watch would
Mhm.
beep, and I'd be like, "Why is that beeping?" Oh, I don't know. I just keep going. And my pacer, Lauren, was starting to hallucinate, but she didn't tell me because she was my crew chief. So she had been up all these nights too, working extremely hard, like I said, taking care of me. And then she was up all night running with me. And so she was hallucinating this horrendous horror show, Blair Witch Project. Like, you remember that movie?
Yes,
She
I
told me
do.
later. She didn't tell me that night, but she was in this Blair Witch Project nightmare horror show as we were running through this forest where she was seeing all this crazy nightmare witch
Mhm.
stuff, and she was terrified. And she didn't want me to be scared, so she didn't tell me. So she was silent in front of me, and I was like, wow, we're usually chatty. She's so quiet. I didn't know why. So she wasn't telling me to eat, and I wasn't telling myself to eat. So I went like the whole night without, like, I don't know, it's like
Yeah.
5 hours without really eating much or drinking much. And then we got to the aid station. It was just before dawn, I think. And I was suddenly like, oh, I don't feel good. And Lauren went to take care of my stuff and refill my pack and everything. And a really nice volunteer led me over to a little pallet in front of a heater and lay me down. And I think I slept there longer than anywhere else. I think I slept an actual real full hour. But when I woke up, I felt even worse. I felt even more nauseous. So Lauren got me up and she said, okay, let's get going. We're way ahead of the cutoff. You have plenty of time, so we can just move slowly. There's 18 miles left. It's fine if you don't eat. Plenty of people like go 18 miles with no nutrition. You'll be okay. Just gut it out. And I was like, okay, but I feel horrible. So then we were like creeping along for, I don't know, maybe 4 hours or something. And I just was feeling worse and worse. And then all of a sudden, it was like a light bulb went off in her head, and she was like, oh my God, you need salt and you need food. That's what's wrong with you. And then she made me take some salt, and she made me drink some scratch, and she made me take a bite of food. Instantly, I threw up everywhere.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
not really, because there was nothing to throw up, but I was just like hurling. And then she set a timer on her watch for every 10 minutes and made me take a little bit of salt and a little bite of food and a little bit of scratch. And within an hour, it was like I finally had one of those comeback moments that they talk about in races. I'd
Mhm.
never experienced it before because I'd never gone down that low before.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome because I felt like a superhero. I was like, this is what people are talking about. This
Yep.
is why we do this. Because I had never felt so horrible and like I never felt like I couldn't do it. I mean, I was going to do it if I had to crawl to the finish line.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm never going to feel good again. I'm going to feel horrible for the rest of my life. Like, this is how I'm going to feel forever. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, I was like, I feel amazing. Let's run. And we ran the last 9 or 10 miles. We just picked up the
Awesome.
pace, and we actually ran so fast. We ran so fast, but faster than we'd been moving, that my whole family almost missed my finish because they didn't expect me to finish. Yeah, I had never had that like puke and rally, feel so horrible, and then all of a sudden you feel so high in a race before, and it was really exhilarating actually, because it just makes you realize how capable the human body is and how amazing
Yeah.
we really are as creatures and what we're able to push through and overcome if you just keep going. And it was incredible. It felt really, really good. So, and then I was so excited. I was like, I finally did it. It was an exciting moment for me. Yeah.
It's amazing how you can be nursed back to life during a
Yeah.
run like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going.
And I've been on the other side, is that I've done a lot of pacing and crewing for runners and a lot of volunteering at races of various lengths. And and I also sweep courses a lot for local races here in LA. So I've done it so many times where I've like given a runner salt and like just take a little sip and take a little bite, and then I've seen them revive. So I know if I'd been in my right mind, I knew exactly what I needed to do to myself. I just couldn't. I was so out of it. I couldn't.
Yeah, but
Like,
you were a toddler. You needed babysitting.
yes,
You just needed
exactly.
a snack, a
I needed to
timeout
be
and a snack.
told, yeah, I needed to be told, eat your salt, eat your food, take your drink. And then
So
I was
basically,
great.
your pacer was a tooth fairy at that moment.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. She was amazing.
So what would you give the blisters, the chafing, the tossing cookies, that experience?
Well, how do we, like,
Well,
Well, that depends
how does that
on.
rating work? Yeah.
So,
it's on you how that works. Like if I
so,
had a bad blister, I'd give it a 10. I'd be like, I had to pop that juicy sucker and it went
Right?
everywhere.
some
Or
some people go for the bragging rights. I had the biggest blister I've
yeah.
ever seen, and I give it a
Yeah.
10. Or I absolutely hate blisters. This was miserable, and I give it a 1.
Or I didn't
Oh,
get any
I see.
blisters at
Yeah.
all. Ha ha ha. I give it a
So
10. So it's up to you
Yeah.
how you
so
want to rate
it's
that.
really
I mean, I guess I'll do a 7,
A
okay-ish,
7?
because
okay.
I think it's pretty awesome that the medic, who I don't want to name because, again, everyone might
Is it a
recognize her name.
she?
Yeah. But she worked on my feet while I was asleep. I think that's pretty badass that I slept through that. And puking is never fun. It's horrible, obviously. But the fact that I rallied afterward is
Yeah.
good. So that I feel like that balances out. So I'll give it an okay-ish. I had some
Okay.
stuff, but we pulled through.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so trail naps. You said you did take a trail nap. What was the
Yeah.
comfort on that?
That was my first. This race was my first experience with trail naps because in hundreds I don't need to nap. I'm totally fine staying
Yeah.
up like for one night. I'm fine. So this was my first time, and I am in love with trail naps. My favorite thing. They are like hitting I was saying it's hitting the reset button. Like
Right.
I just lie down 6 minutes, I wake up, I'm like a new person. I love it. It gives me energy and makes my brain feel like it's back on track. And sometimes that feeling doesn't last that long, but it lasts long
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of trail naps. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
so
That's
what would you give yours?
that's a 10.
A 10?
Yeah, I have
Oh.
fun pictures too that I'll share of me just like curled up
Oh, I want
in
to
the
see
dirt.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that is cool. Yeah.
I can
Okay.
sleep anywhere too. Like it doesn't even matter. I don't care if the ground is hard or cold or rocky. Just I think I fell asleep every time the second my head just hit whatever surface, just out.
You were ready. A toddler. Yeah.
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 Yep.
So did you fall any? I never asked
No,
that.
no, I
No?
I had my poles, so
Pulse. Okay.
yeah.
That's
I
good.
think without poles, oh, I did. Well, I don't know if you count it as falling. There's one section that's very steep and slippery, and I think I spent most of my time butt sliding down this one little section. So it was sort of more of an intentional slow glide on my butt down
Yep.
versus
That's not a
a
fall.
fall. But
That's not a
No.
yeah,
fall. That is just having fun. That's
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
yeah. If
yeah,
there was no snow,
slide,
then it was just was it muddy at least or no?
dry dirt.
Just dry
Yeah,
dirt.
Gotcha.
That's still
yeah,
fun.
just slippery dry dirt. And I was
Yeah.
like,
What was that the end of your race or at the beginning of your race?
no, that was the second half.
Second half?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about your mental state?
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
I would give it a 9, and the only reason not a 10 because that like 5-hour section before I finally puked was a pretty long low, and
Yeah.
that it just dragged on and on and on and on until we finally figured out what the problem was and fixed it. So that was a pretty lengthy. I mean, in the grand scheme of like 100+ hours, 5 hours isn't very long to have a low,
Yeah.
but it
Mhm.
felt really long.
But it does
Um,
feel long. Yeah. It's
yeah. So that was a
yeah, so
pretty
you're
long
getting into your
low.
head having conversations that you probably don't want to have with yourself and
Yeah. And then I did have
why?
one other, like I had this one little the part of the jacket tantrum
Yeah.
that I had, which was the only other time that I was like in any negative headspace at all, was right before the finish when I was freaking out about my jacket. The main issue was that my family was going to miss the finish. We were about a mile from the finish, and we called to see if they were there, and they were not. They had been fishing, and it was just my husband and my teenage boys and my sister were fishing, and did not realize that I would finish so quickly because I had been going so slowly through the night and into that day. And then I picked up the pace so much that they almost didn't make it because of traffic, et cetera. And so I told Lauren, who's running with me, I was like, well, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop and wait right here for them because they need to be there. What's the point if they're not there? I'm going to stop and wait. And she was like, oh, no, you're not. We're done. We're going to be done. You're going to keep going. And I was like, no, I'm not going. I can't go. I'm going to wait here. And she was like, no, you're going to keep going because I'm done. And then I just kind of like my jacket, I'm hot and my family. And I kind of threw a little fit. And she was like, basically, get a hold of yourself. And she got really firm with me. And I'm so glad she did. She's like, you're being a big baby. Get a hold of yourself. This is not you. You have been so positive this entire race. I have not seen you stop smiling this entire time. This right here is not you. You want to finish this race as you and as your experience. Don't let them not being there ruin your experience for you. You need to have your experience as you, who you are, and think about who you are and who you want to finish this race as. Is this you or is the Sally that I've seen over all these days you? And I was like,
that's such a good argument, right?
Yeah. And
were you in your head going, were you going like, damn it?
Yeah. I was like, I love you, Lauren. You're the best. I'm sorry I was mean. So then I was like, you know what? It's fine. If they're not there, I'll see them after. And then we just ran and they got there just in time and they saw me finish and everything worked out beautifully. But she was absolutely right. And I'm glad she stopped me from going full bore into that tantrum mode because that isn't how I felt the whole race. I felt I was in such a different space the whole race, and to have finished in that mood would have been not what I wanted.
Right.
So instead I kind of like stopped and took a breath and like remembered where I was and what I was doing and who I was with and what I'd just accomplished and all of that, and just took a moment to just bring myself back to myself. And then we ran it in, and that felt
totally
much better.
Understand that. And you knew everything was going to be okay, no matter what. It was, yeah. Okay, so let's discuss those hallucinations. And before you tell me them, what do you give it?
I'll give Lauren's a 10.
Definitely.
She was having some amazing hallucinations. I'm kind of jealous. I didn't really, and I don't know why because I got so little sleep, but I think I was kind of right on the cusp. Like, I feel like my mind was just maybe opening up towards hallucinatory land. Like, I was at that place where when you look at a tree and there's some knots in the tree, you can kind of see a face, but you don't actually think it's a face. You don't think a person's in the tree. Where I was just sort of like seeing faces everywhere in everything, but not actually thinking like, oh my gosh, there's a person there. If that makes sense. It was like as if my imagination were opening, but not to the point where I actually saw things that weren't there. So she would say, you see the cow up on that? Why is there a cow up there? That's so weird. Why would there be a cow up there? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I could see how that would look like a cow, but I know it's not a cow. It's just sort of like the way the light is on the stones or whatever. It kind of looks like a cow. So I was definitely not there entirely with her, but I could see what she was seeing, if that makes sense.
I'm sorry.
I know. It seems so fun. Well, the Blair Witch stuff was probably not very fun in the middle of the night, but after the sun came up, then she was seeing like woodland creatures and cows, and there was this little like shape that looked like a monkey sitting on a tree, and I was like, oh yeah, that definitely looks like I took a picture of it because it definitely, the way this gnarled tree looks, it looks like a monkey kind of sitting on a tree branch. But not to the point where I actually thought that there was a monkey sitting on a tree branch. It just like definitely looked like that. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day.
I want to go running with her. So what would give your hallucinations? I mean,
well, you didn't have any.
You didn't have any, but did you
I guess,
have
like,
enough?
So I'd give it a 6 because like
6.
I was like sort of there, but not enough to make it fun.
Yeah. It's still a rating scale, Renee. Still a rating scale.
I know.
So how about the race versus the description? We know that all RDs kind of embellish, or sometimes they just kind of
leave out
little certain things. like
Um,
elevation profiles and
I think it's actually really good, with the exception of, and this is always so difficult, but the exact distance, which I always ignore anyway. I always overestimate, but some runners get really, really upset if it says, like, 18.3 miles and it's really 19 miles, or it's really 17.8. And everybody's watch is different. And so I know from when I volunteered there the year before, and I know from when I ran it, that there's a lot of disparity between different watches and different systems and different GPS files between the different aid stations. So knowing that, when I made my race plan, I overestimated by at least a mile on each segment.
Mhm.
And in my mind, having that overestimation was perfect.
Okay.
And in fact, in the terms of distance, I was way over the reported distance on my watch when I finished the race. So I know my watch is inaccurate, but you know, like, that doesn't bother me. So I would still give it a 9. I know it does bother some runners, so they might dock more points for that. But yeah, in terms of the actual descriptions, excellent. Where the
Okay.
water spots are, all of that, really, really good. Yeah, I think really, really good descriptions. It's just that the
That
distance,
one little
Distance.
thing, yeah.
yeah. And as long as
Yes.
you overestimate, I think it's fine, which
Yeah.
I do anyway.
And it's a silly thing to complain about when you're up in these distances, right?
Right? Like 18.3, 19.5, like what's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a 10K that's suddenly 11K.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So how about the elevation profile? Was it exact for you, or was it kind of, I love always asking about that because some people say, well, on some races they say it's 1,000 feet. And they're like, oh no, 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 it was 2,500. My legs felt it. So how was
I think it was pretty accurate. What they
okay.
say it is, and then what my watch told me it was
Okay.
afterward, or was actually pretty spot on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your
Yeah.
legs agree?
My legs actually felt great, which was super weird. I was expecting them to hurt a lot, and they did not. So I don't know. I have a really good coach, I guess. He trained me
There
really
you
well.
go.
um, but it was 36,000 plus feet of climbing.
Okay.
And I felt great the whole time. It was uh yeah, it was some good climbs, but nothing too gnarly all at once. Is
Okay.
like some really beautiful climbs, but nothing like or
All
Yeah.
right.
anything. Yeah.
Hmm.
So gradual climbs. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, okay, so when you went and picked up your race packet and all the way to getting your buckle, what would you race? The swag, the medals, and this, um, or any other buckle you may have got? Did you get to choose your own buckle, or did you tell us about
Uh,
that?
we do get to choose our own buckle, and they're handmade by a local artist. They're really beautiful. So I did love that aspect about it, and I don't want to give more details because I think it might give it away. But they are really, really pretty, and that's a really fun part of it. Actually, is going to pick it. And again, having volunteered there, I've been on the other side of the table and helped runners pick their buckle, so it's fun to
Yeah.
be on that side.
So you didn't pick the random one, right?
No, there's
No.
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 I know there's 4 races that do that, so we're narrowing it down in our head. So what would you give that? How about the swag in your bag? Swag in your bag.
Oh,
um,
it was, yeah, great. I'd give it uh a 9.
and
Yeah,
I,
loved
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Wow, I think this is the best race we've had so far. 8.8 out of 10.
wow.
That's
Aw,
really good. That's really good.
yay.
Oh, a
Yeah.
good UTI score.
Yeah. 0.57 over half.
Yeah.
That's because I ran it for free. It wouldn't be that good if I had to pay for it.
Well, actually, that dragged it down.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, that's something I have to work on. Not a lot of people get free races,
Yeah.
um, so let's just adjust that to what I want it to be anyway. So, okay, we can just take that and say,
Yeah, they have a great volunteer program, so anybody can.
Well, then you have to tell us all about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I might be might not for your particular race, but I think that I am pacing someone this year. And I know I paced someone last year at one of these races,
I think I know what it is.
but I know that there's 3 of them, right?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Point 74 was your final score.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's a good UTI
yeah,
score.
really nice and high. Um, so
What do you think it is?
I'm thinking it's taking place on the west side or east side of Utah.
No, I'm
No,
gonna go that it is. It's on a beautiful lake.
you think it's on a lake?
Yes.
Is that 7.5 hours from LA?
Yeah, definitely,
Oh,
absolutely. I
okay.
think it's Tahoe.
Yep.
I was going for
Not
Moab. I was
why
going
would
for
it be Moab? That's like
because picking
in
your own buckle.
no, that's all 3 of them.
That's all 3 of them. Okay.
Yes, you get a choice of picking the buckle, or then you get a tube and they just throw something random in there.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Tahoe.
so give us a good little race report on that. I mean, we've got a lot of it, but what is it? What are
Yeah.
some of the things you would like to tell and the volunteer program?
So I love this race. Like I said, I went out the Tahoe 200 with Destination Trail.
Yeah.
I went out last year and volunteered and had the time of my life volunteering. It was so much fun. They're a great group. They're like family now. I volunteered there. I volunteered at Moab this year too. I can't get enough. And I'm actually going out to Tahoe this year to pace a runner from Village Green to the finish. So for about 100 miles,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to pace her. Yeah. But first, I'm going to volunteer the first 2 days. So I'll see anyone who's running it at runner packet pickup. And then I'll be volunteering at the Armstrong aid station, which is the first and third stop for runners. Um, I just absolutely loved it when I was out there volunteering, and I learned so much about 200s and about that race in particular. So if anyone's thinking about running a 200, I recommend getting out there and volunteering because you learn so much just being out there and being amongst the runners and being with other volunteers and stuff. And it's just so much fun. And you get race credits, and Destination Trail is
Yeah.
really amazing about letting you, if you volunteer for the whole entire time, you get to pick a race to run for free. And it doesn't have to be the same race you volunteered for. I volunteered at Moab, but I'm actually going to run Bigfoot next year. I'm not doing it this year because I'm running the AC 100 in August, and I can't do back-to-back races. They're
Right.
1 weekend apart. Like some people can do that, I can't do that. So I'm doing AC 100 this August, and then I'll do Bigfoot next August.
All right.
But yeah, I love the 200 distance. It's so fun, and I feel like it just gives you time as a runner, especially a slower runner like me, to experience so many things and go through some ups and downs. And like a shorter race, it feels too short. Like a
Right.
50K
Yeah.
or a 50 miler, I feel like I'm just getting started and I don't have time to enjoy it. I'm just like rushing
Yeah.
to get there. And the 200, I can really experience it, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
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 without feeling rushed. And this race, I had the time of my life, honestly. Like I said, I ran in like the last 9 miles. I was literally leaping across the finish line, like jumping, yelling, I did it! I did it! I did it! Holding my poles in the air, just screaming, I did it. And just like hugest smile on my face. I just
Yeah.
felt, I just felt incredible.
Was that
And
your
I
first
felt great
200?
afterward. What's that?
Was that your first 200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I run 200s,
But now
and
you're addicted, right?
Yeah.
so I run 200s, and for me, I mean, there's a lot of pluses about it, but one of them is that it feels gentler on the
Mhm.
body. It really does in a 100 because you're really, the further a mileage you go, you're slowing down.
Mhm.
With the 100, I'm still trying to go do that marathon space, that pace. But when I get to a 200, there's sleep involved. There's a nutrition plan. There's slower running. There's fast paced hiking. And funny to say, it is gentler on the body. And I can see with what your report is that it was like that for you as well.
Yeah.
You got the rest you needed. I mean, even, you don't need a lot of rest. It's really more about your brain than having to sit there with a 100 and having to put your feet up really quick, drink some caffeine, worry about your heart rate, and yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's good for the body.
Yeah, and I like all the planning too and all the training. I mean, I loved the training block leading up to it. We
Hmm.
started I started like the year before when I volunteered. I knew I'd be running it a year later, so everything I planned for that year was with Tahoe in mind, and we started seriously training for it like 6 months before. But I loved all of it. I love long training runs by myself in the mountains, and I did hiking sessions with weighted backpacks. I love
Hmm.
Yeah.
that. Like, I love all of it. Like, yes, throw me out there for 6 hours by myself. Yes, please. I mean,
Give me more.
I yes, I love all of that. So I love the process too. For me,
Right.
it's never about just race day for me. It's about all of it. It's about
Yeah.
the whole experience. And that's why I love this sport. It's because I like all of the steps along the way. And so I'm always doing something, or, I'm volunteering, or I'm sweeping, or I'm pacing somebody. I just paced a runner for 50 miles at Cocodona, and now I'm pacing in a couple weeks at Tahoe. And so I'm always just jumping in. I just want to be out there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't even need medals or anything. I just want to be out there. So for me, it's not even about that. Yeah, I love the whole process. I love it all.
Yeah. With these distances, it's you get a lot of running done for that one race, right?
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
it's
you get, depending on how you look at it, you are getting a lot for your money. I mean, whether
Yeah.
it's expensive or not, it's the reward at the end. And you get to eat a little more, compared to a 100 miler. It's different. You're getting a whole meal, and you're still shoving more in your pockets, and
Yeah.
you're having to evaluate time. So you're doing math in your head. That's educational in itself. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
life lessons, laundry list.
And I
Yeah.
know you keep talking about Tahoe. I'm not sold on it, but
Oh, have you been to Tahoe?
no.
Not yet.
Oh my gosh, you have to go. It's like, one of my top favorite places. You have to go visit Tahoe.
we
It's
do
beautiful.
we've been pacing, this will be our second year at Moab. So
Okay.
maybe we'll see you over there.
Yeah.
I find that one a very interesting race. I'm kind of like eyeballing that, but at the same time, I've seen the suffering, and I'm going,
Oh, yeah.
I'm an
It was a
experienced runner. I don't want to suffer like that.
it was a suffer fest this past year for
Yeah.
sure. It was
Yeah.
very hot.
I saw people on the sides, and they just, the
Whew.
pacers, and I wasn't sure who was the pacer, who was the runner breaking down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just telling the person I'm pacing for, I'm like, oh, don't look over there. Just don't look. You have to sometimes. Just, don't engage with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moab. I'm gonna do Bigfoot first, and then maybe I'll circle to Moab. Moab seems harder to me than all of them, and I'm not sure why, but maybe it's the heat, and there's long stretches of flatter running
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
which to me is harder. I'd rather climb. So, because that's climbing, you are changing your pace and changing your gait and all of that. And the longer prolonged stretches is just like flat running. I don't really do that much because I live
Yeah.
in the mountains,
I
and
I
yeah.
feel the problem with the flat sections is that you feel bad if you don't run. If you're climbing, you have an excuse for going slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
better on the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel like you have to run on the flat sections, and then my body doesn't want to
Yeah.
necessarily. I mean, maybe I do, but
Well, I think that when you look at that flat section, we know which one we're talking about, but it is
yeah.
flat. And
Mhm.
have you went on that section before that we're talking about? Okay, there's crack
No,
houses. Maybe. I
oh,
don't know. There might be crack houses. I don't know. That's what we thought they were. But there's just these trailers, and they're burnt out, and you just like wonder who lives in there. And then you're thinking of the banjo, and yeah,
so you do want to run because you want to
yeah,
get by.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
But I
But
mean, it's all in fun. It
yeah.
really is.
But Moab is a beautiful
It
place.
is.
It's
And I'd
don't
like to do Tahoe. I'm waiting for them to actually bring back the
the full
point to
loop.
The
point.
circumnavigating,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully next year.
yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry you
I
didn't
don't
see any
mind that.
bear.
I know I saw no bears. Yeah, no bears.
There is a podcast out there. I think it was with I'll send it to you. He's talking about how he was listening to somebody that was the Tahoe race had just ended. He was out there running because he thought that he could just go run. And he turned around with his headphones on and he saw a bear chasing after him. So he went behind a tree thinking, no, I'm gonna die now. No, the bear was just taking a run along with him. Kept going.
Oh,
Must
it
have been
wasn't
thinking
chasing him. It was just
no, it was like immediately after Tahoe the race. And
wow.
so yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought, you know what? I am not running Tahoe, not being chased by bears. And I'm like, all thinking, that you were chasing that bear.
That's your motivation.
Yeah, there's a bear.
There's a bear.
No, I was kind of excited to see a bear because we don't, I've seen a mountain lion out here, tons of rattlesnakes, coyotes everywhere. We have coyotes in my
Yeah.
backyard, but no bears. At least not in the Santa Monica Mountains, which is where I live. There's bears in the Angeles National Forest, but that's a bit of a drive for me. I have to start driving over there though soon.
Yeah.
But haven't seen any bears.
Well,
Maybe while I'm
you'll see
pacing this
one.
year.
Yeah. And you'd be like, huh, okay.
There's a bear. Don't
There's a
look that
bear.
way. Keep going that way.
Yep.
We're
And
good.
just think if it's running with you, maybe it just wants to go for a run.
And you can
Maybe
scratch
it's
that
just
off your
going that
bucket
way.
list, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it has been an enjoyment talking with you. And
Yeah, it's so fun.
yeah.
Thank you for having me.
and when you go to run Moab, I want to have you back on to hear about that experience. I want to know, did you sit on the ground and go, why? Or did you get out there and you thought, this is the best thing ever? And I enjoy that you actually have a lot of joy into this sport, and I hope that continues for you. And
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll see you at probably Moab.
Yeah, we'll see you at Moab. We'll keep in touch, and we'll try to see if we can find a place to meet up.
Sounds great. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you
too. You take care.
Take care.
And have fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.